Good morning, guys. How are you? It is June 1st, and everyone should be in their homeroom class. You do not need your Chromebook for this. All teachers will be doing math because obviously it's the most important or most fun, whichever you want to choose. What you're going to do is go to Unit 6, May/June, if you are virtual, and then at the bottom there's a stained glass window project. Again, if you are in person, you will be getting copies of this. So there's a stained glass window project and then graph paper. Everyone should have a little packet of 2 pages worksheet and then 1 page for graph paper. So this is what we're doing. It's called the stained glass window project. At the end, you will understand why. What you'll need to do is you will need to find the slope for each question, the y-intercept for each question, write an equation for each question, and then graph each equation on the same coordinate plane. Then you're going to label each line with the corresponding equation. I'll explain how to do that. And last step is to color. So there are 3 sections of this project. Section 1 has 6 points. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the slope and y-intercept and write the equation. Again, this is all in y equals mx plus b form, where m is my slope and my plus b is my y-intercept. So you will need to show your work for this. You will need to first write your slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That is our slope formula. Once I have my slope formula written, I'm going to label my points. X always comes first, and then y. I'm going to call these my 1s because they're my first ordered pair. X2, Y2. Next, I'm going to take my formula and plug in my numbers. For example, Y2 is 2. So 2 minus my Y1, which is 1, divided by my X2, 1, minus my X1, which is 0. Now I'm going to simplify this. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 divided by 1 is just 1. Again, I used my slope formula, identified my points, plugged in my points, and solved. Now that I have found my slope, I need to find my y-intercept. My y-intercept is where x equals 0. Remember on a graph, if x is 0, what is y? Well, here I'm given what x is 0, y is 1, which means my y-intercept is 1. Now I'm going to take my slope and plug it in there, and take my y-intercept and plug it in there to write my equation y equals 1x plus 1. You could also do y equals x plus 1. So you're going to do that for 5 through 6 here. Y equals mx plus b. Find your slope, find your y-intercept, find your equation. As you guys see, your y-intercept is given to you on every single one. It's where x equals 0. So that is section 1. Section 2 is when you are given a situation. For example, number 1 here says, for babysitting, Nicole charges a flat fee of $3, a one-time flat fee of $3, plus $5 per hour. Write an equation for the cost, C, after each hours of babysitting. You guys are pretty good at this. My slope here is how much I'm making per hour. It's increasing $5 each hour. That's my rate of change or my slope. My y-intercept is my one-time fee. That would be 3. So now I'm going to take my slope and my y-intercept and plug them in my equation. So now I have y equals 5x plus 3. So I'd get a point for the slope, a point for the y-intercept, and a point for the equation. That is section 2. You have 6 questions there as well. And then section 3 is with a table. With a table, it's basically just a ton of points. You can choose any 2 points. For this one, I'm going to choose 0 and 2 and 1 and 4. Because I don't like negative numbers, so I'm just going to make my points easier for me. Again, we need our slope formula. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now I'm going to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm just going to plug them in. Again, my y2 is 4 minus my y1 of 2. And then I have my x2 is 1 minus my x1, which is 0. 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So that's how I find my slope. Again, I am expecting you to be able to show this work over here. 4 minus 2 divided by 1 minus 0. Don't think I'm asking too much of you there. So now that we have our slope, we have to find our y-intercept. So our y-intercept is where x equals 0. X equals 0, let's see, on my table. X is 0 right here, which means my y-intercept is 2. So now I'm going to take my slope and take my y-intercept and plug it in my equation of y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope and my plus b is my y-intercept. So y equals 2x plus 2, where this is my slope and this was my y-intercept. So after you do all of these, you have 6 in section 1, 6 in section 2, and then 5 tables at the end. What you're going to do is use your graph paper. Yours may look a little different than this. You're going to graph your equation. So I'm going to graph my equation. Y equals 1x plus 1, y equals 5x plus 3, and then y equals, I believe it's 2x plus 2. So you always start with your y-intercept. So I'm going to do this one first. I always start with my y-intercept of 1. So I make a point at my y-intercept of 1 on my y-axis. Then my slope here is 1, which means I go up 1 and to the right 1, because it's a positive slope. And I'm going to do this over and over again. Up 1 to the right 1. Up 1 to the right 1. Over and over again until I run out of paper, run out of room. And my line also goes on the left side of my y-axis. I just have to go down 1 to the left 1. Down 1 to the left 1, down 1 to the left 1, and so on until I run out of room on my paper. You will run into issues later on if you do not do the line all the way around your paper, and then you're going to connect your points, draw your line, and then on your line, you can do it anywhere. You're going to write y equals 1x plus 1. And that's your first line. My next line I'm going to do is y equals 5x plus 3. Again, I always start with my plus 3. That's my y-intercept. My slope is 5 over 1. So I'm going to go up 5 and to the right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the right 1. I could also go down 5 and to the left 1. So I'm going to be back at 3. I'm going to go down 1 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the right 1. Left 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. My next point would be like down there. As you see, 5 is larger than 1, so there's a steeper slope. And then on this line, I'm going to write y equals 5x plus 3. My next line I'm going to do is y equals 2x plus 2. I'm going to start at 2. Oh, dang it. I'm going to start at 2. Y equals 2x plus 2. And I'm going to go, my slope is 2 over 1, which means I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 1. I could also go down and to the left. Down 2 to the left 1. Down 2 to the left 1. And there is my line. And again, I'm going to write y equals 2x plus 2. So if I wouldn't have erased this, you would have seen, I'm going to try to do this real quick. Oops. You would have seen I have 3 lines. And at the end of this, you should have more than 3 lines. You'll end up having about 17 lines. The biggest thing with graphing is the way that you're going. You want to make sure if it has a positive slope, it's increasing. If it has a negative slope, it's decreasing. Remember your slope, for example, if it's 2 over 1, you're going up to the right or down to the left. If it's positive, you may want to write this on your sheet. You definitely will want to write this on your sheet. And if it's negative, you're going to go down to the right or up to the left. Make sure you write this down. And then at the end, you're just going to color, so all your lines will intersect, and you'll go all the way to the end of the paper. Then you're just going to color in between and make a beautiful picture. That's why it's called stained glass window. If you know what stained glass looks like, you'll kind of be able to tell that it's going to be beautiful. So that's all we're doing. Make sure you go slow. Make sure you do your own work. I know what you guys are capable of. I know what I've seen all year. So make sure that you show off. Make sure that you do your best. And teach your teachers a little bit about math and what we've been doing all year. You guys are awesome. Good luck. If you need anything, just let me know. Bye, guys.